Hi, everybody. This is Joseph with Read and Write, and I am standing beside a true legend. That's what I'll say.
Joseph, thank
In
you,
Southern
buddy.
Gospel music, this is Danny Funderburk. Thank you for taking time to talk to me.
Thank you, Joseph.
Well, this is a guy who, now I want to go back to the 70s, I think, Singing Americans.
Yeah, 70,
Sing-
actually in 1980.
Okay.
I joined the Singing Americans, and I was there for 3 years.
Okay, I thought it was late 70s, but you got me. And Ivan Parker.
Ivan, yes.
And the
We
singing.
started out with Mike English.
Okay.
It was me, Mike English, Ed Hill, and Dwayne Burke.
Okay.
And then Mike, of course, he left. He went with the Goodmans, and then, of course, we got Ivan. And Ivan was there for a while, and we did a couple projects with Ivan.
yes.
And then Clayton Inman
Yes.
joined us later after that. We just couldn't keep lead singers.
I know. What's the deal?
They were great.
There's so little turnover in Southern Gospel music.
Just only once a year. Everybody's changing. You
I know it. I remember a record back, I guess it was the early 80s, it was you, Ivan Parker, and Ed Hill, who was a great man.
Oh, yes.
And, of course, Dwayne Burke. Later on, of course, you went to join the legendary Cathedral Quartet.
Joseph, all I can say is I've been so blessed to be able to sing with some of the greatest gospel singers, and I'm saying good people too. You know, there's a difference in good singers and great singers, and just good people and great people, and a lot of the people that I sang with down through the years, I know that God has allowed me to be associated with some of the very best as far as the people in this industry, and you see it every day, and I'm very thankful and blessed, and the bottom line is this: I've always just tried to seek God's will in my life, and I didn't know where He would use me or what I would be doing, and I never dreamed that I would be singing gospel music. I actually got kicked out of Glee Club when I was in high school because I was such a cut-up. My teacher said, "You're just here to cut class, aren't you?" And I kind of agreed with her, you know. And anyway, long story short, I never dreamed that I would be singing Christian music, gospel music, especially Southern gospel music, some of the greatest music this side of heaven. And God has allowed me to do that now for almost 41 years. And I'm so blessed. And I can't thank Him enough for allowing me to do what I do as long as I've done it.
You know, how did let me say this, Traveling Live, which is a Cathedral's record, was one of the, honest to God, one of the greatest live albums of all time.
That was done in Winston-Salem at Reynolds Auditorium. That night, I don't know, the Spirit of the Lord just came on the scene. You remember the song, "Whosoever Will May Come"?
Yes.
That night, it was just unbelievable to see the power of God, the way He come on the scene, because that's so scriptural. You know, the Bible plainly states that whosoever will call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. And I'm that whosoever.
Yes, me too.
And I know I've been through a lot of things. I've had 4 strokes. I've had a heart attack. They took my gallbladder out here a while back in Austin, Texas. I was diagnosed with diverticulosis. And I was sharing my story the other day, and I said, "I don't know what's left, folks." And somebody in the back hollered out, "Kidney stones." I said, "I don't want to go there."
No kidney stones.
No kidney stones. But the bottom line is this: no matter what you may be going through, if God takes you to it, He can take you through it.
Yes.
And He's done a lot in my life. I've had physical healing, but the greatest thing that He's ever done for me is save my soul.
Yes.
And that's it.
That's it. How did the Cathedral thing come up? Did you try out? Did you audition? Did they already know who you were and what you could do with that tenor voice, which I must say is such a distinct tenor voice in Southern gospel music. If you hear Danny Funderburk on a record, you know it's him, man.
Oh, bless your heart, Josh. Thank you so much. No, I never had to try out. When I was with the Singing Americans, we worked 3 or 4 concerts with the cathedrals, Spartanburg Memorial Auditorium, other places we'd go like Winston-Salem. And every time we would get through singing, George would be waiting in the wings to go out and sing. And he would come up and he'd say, "Funderburk, let me hug your neck." And he'd hug my neck and he'd say these words, "I hope one day you and I get to sing together."
Wow.
You know, those were just kind words, I thought, coming out of George's mouth, and I never dreamed that it would ever happen. And I never had to do anything but just show up to Stowe, Ohio. And a call came and said, "You need to talk to Mr. Glenn Payne." And so when I talked to Glenn on the phone, he mentioned the fact that Kirk was leaving and said, "Danny, you got the job if you want it. And I said, well, when do I come up and try out? He said, you don't have to try out. He said, we already know, young man, what God has given you, and we know that we can make it work. Well, I'm glad that they felt that way. You know, for a while, I didn't know if I could do it or not, because Kirk was a great singer. He came along, and they started moving up. They had some good songs, you know, I'm going to live forever, and those kind of songs, and We Shall See Jesus. It became Glenn's, you know, signature song. And I didn't know if I could stand in that spot or not. And so we went up. My first outing was in Flint, Michigan, about 2,500 people. And George introduced me, and he said, Funderburk, sing Whiter Than Snow. And I sang my dad's song, Whiter Than Snow. He took me to Calvary and watched me Whiter Than Snow. And the rest of it is it's just history. God's been so good to me.
Well, you've blessed so many people with your ministry, with your voice, because your voice is not just a wonderful, distinct, on-pitch, great tone tenor voice, but it's also anointed, man. And I just started living. Are you kidding me?
That means
that song rocked radio's world back in the day, and it's still rocking people's world today. That you can't duplicate Danny Funderburk's tenor sound. It's anointed. You went from the cathedrals. Later on, you done the Perfect Heart thing. What's going on these days?
We did Perfect Heart. Well, I'm doing solo work.
Right.
I do about 180 dates a year, and I'm staying very, very busy. And I'm glad I just got back from Wyoming, and of course, we got the Cathedral Family Reunion stuff that's coming up that I've had to rearrange some of my dates.
Yeah, you guys are going to be here this week doing, is it a matinee or something, or a special event?
The Saturday morning matinee,
cool.
about 11:30. We're going to do what we call we'll do a revised edition of what we do when we go out and sing when we do the Cathedral Family Reunion dates. We got Akron, Ohio. We're going to Branson, Missouri, Sacramento, California, Florida,
Wow.
Winter Park, Florida. I mean, God has opened this, and I'm enjoying being back with the old guys, you know.
That's so cool. And then where can people go to find your music? Can they go online?
Yes, they can. They can go to DannyFunderburkMinistries.com. That's Danny Funderburk. Of course, most people don't know how to spell Funderburk. But
Hey, there'll be a link on my website.
Thank you.
Joseph Reed Online. People can spell that.
There you go. And I appreciate that. But, yeah, they can go to my website.
And they get the dates to the Cathedral's family reunion on there? Or
all that and all my other solo dates that I've got scheduled. And so, so come see me. We'll just have church.
Danny Funderburk, ladies and gentlemen, here at National Quartet Convention, NQC 2014. Thanks, man.